Well, hello, you crazy cats and all kittens, and welcome to day 50 of Walking with Shawnee. I am, of course, Shawnee, and guys, wow, so much to tell you about today. The bad, the good, and the truly amazing. So, are you sitting comfortably? I shall begin. So, I started off from Crowden Campsite. Didn't get a great night's sleep last night, so stayed there till about 10:15. Had a bit of a lie-in. So made my ascent back onto the Pennine Way walk. Was heading towards Black Hill, where there's a trig point. So it was quite misty, so not very clear. But started making my way up the Pennine Way, and on the ascent, found it quite difficult. Not as bad as I was expecting, actually, which probably shows progress. But as I started going up, I met this lovely group of people. I think they're called Talk and Walk. I think most of them are based around Manchester, and they were training to go to Snowdon next week. Lovely group of people. I think it actually helped me getting up there for the motivation to have some lovely people just to have a chat with. So that was really good. Eventually, sort of went past them, and on the ascent, as you can guess, the back started to get a bit troublesome. Shock horror. So I had a bit of a break, had some more, and then went back on it. So eventually went through to Black Hill to where the trig point is. Quite a nice walk, really beautiful that you're in the middle of nowhere it seems, but there's these lovely paving stones that have been laid on the Pennine route, so that was really, really nice. So made it there, and that actually coincided with me hitting the 500-mile mark, so over the moon with that, really. So from there, had a bit of rest and sort of kicked on. Walked by some lovely reservoirs. The first big one, which actually was the point I realised I was in West Yorkshire. I was starting to get fiery pains in my mid back section, which is a bit of a red flag. So I stopped for a little bit, got some water from a fresh flowing stream, put it in my filter bottle, and just had a few minutes lying down. The walk from there only got more beautiful and more beautiful. So one minute I was in West Yorkshire, the next I got into Greater Manchester. So the sights again just incredible, and the weather was a bit not drizzly, but I was high up with the clouds, so it was a bit damp. But the last 2 hours of walking today, the sun, the heavens opened up, and it was just beautiful. The reservoirs I was walking along became sun kissed, and it was just such a beautiful thing to see. So, I covered about 13 miles today. I think it was the last three. Pain was consistent, more breaks were happening, so I was heading to Stand Edge, but decided to come off the route by about a mile to a place called Diggle. So, made my way down and called the Diggle Hotel in advance, and they said they had rooms, so I came down here and had a lovely pint of Guinness, a lovely fish finger sandwich, and yeah, from there I went upstairs a little bit demotivated because obviously I'm back on the trail 2 days and the back is giving me jip. So, spoke to my parents, spoke to one of my friends who's doing the route and got a bit of advice, which was really good. And then, by chance, decided to go down and ask if they could turn the heating on. So I go down, and I'm met by lovely Sue, who runs the pub here, and bless her, make sure I've got everything I need, and I sort of like, a last drink or anything, and I said I'm okay, but she said anything sweet, like hot drink. I was like, yeah, hot chocolate would be great. So she brought me a hot chocolate and a lovely chocolate flapjack, which is amazing. Didn't charge because I'm doing this walk for charity, which is amazing in itself. Secondly, I got talking to her, about why I'm doing this and the story and the stats and the reasoning behind suicide rates being so high in the construction sector. And she was an old facilities manager, so she sort of had insight to that. And we're talking about my Irish heritage and her husband's Irish heritage, and how in industry that's traditionally you don't talk about feelings. So we had a really good chat. So as we're doing that, the lovely Saddleworth Male Voice Choir came in. Lovely bunch of gentlemen. And before I know it, I was having money thrown at me, donations being made, I think £100 in total. Such a lovely group of guys. I was bowled away, but I really was. I ended up talking to Sue for a little bit longer about what I was doing because she was amazing, making sure I had everything I needed, just to get the back on track. Just it's the first northern town or valley I've come to, and just reminds me why I love it so much up here and why I love my days at university in Preston. So many friendly, amazing people. So yeah, Sue was amazing. This pub is fantastic. For any walkers coming on the Pennine Way walk, they've recently installed a bunkhouse thing up the top, so it's very different here. They're not after your money. They want to make sure that hikers, there's always going to be a bed available, which is just the nicest thing. So with that, I shook the hands of a few members of the choir. I said goodnight and just thanked them so much for the donations. So then it brings me to here. I'm sat up in the room, and then they start singing one of my all-time favourites, Bring Him Home from Les Mis, which was lovely. So I sent them a message to their Facebook group or on WhatsApp and just thanked them and said it was beautiful. And then I was hearing I had a lullaby, Go to Sleep Sean, and Bring Your Blisters to the Bar, which was so lovely. I think the contrast with this is because I was up here in my room, maybe feeling a little bit sorry for myself, like, oh, I've come off trail, or do I have the right equipment, or, I'm back's hurting, and then through going downstairs, my night and day has pretty much changed by these amazing, kind, lovely people, and it's such a nice feeling to be sat here after what's just happened. Another, again, amazing thing that's happened, so, and big shout out to my old company, ISN. They have an amazing program where they match the donations and double them from the employees who have donated. So that came through today, which means we've exceeded the target. We're sitting at, I think, £3,300 now. So big shout out to all of you ISN employees who have donated, and to ISN for having that lovely mechanism in place. A wonderful, kind thing to do for all charities that you have available, and just sending me to sleep tonight with a massive smile on my face. So I promised you the bad, the good, and the truly amazing. So the bad, the back, it concerns me. It's if anything, it makes it tougher, because the lovely generosity tonight and the message of support, and all you want to do is keep on going and keep on making progress. So I want to get my back nipped in the bud and protected as much as possible. And I think my heading tomorrow is Hebden Bridge, but I'm also where I need to probably lessen down the miles. So we'll see what happens on that front. Then maybe I go a little bit wild camp or find a campsite, or just 5 miles, have an hour break, and then kick on. So yeah, that was the bad. The good being this lovely accommodation, the lovely weather today, and the truly amazing, the donations, meeting the Saddleworth Male Voice Choir and Sue, and the lovely place here at the Diggle Hotel. I can't recommend it enough highly. But with that, guys, I know a long message, but lots to say, lots to be thankful for. And I think overarching, the response I get from people when I tell them about Mates in Mind and what they're designed to do, people know of someone, or know of someone who knows someone who has been affected by mental health in the construction sector, and it just makes me feel really, really pleased that doing this is maybe bringing a little bit of awareness and finance for Mates in Mind. So what was a bad day has turned into a truly amazing day. Right, 10 minutes strong now. Wow, that's a first for me. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for your donations. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your support. Big shout out to the Saddleworth Male Voice Choir, and to the Diggle Pub and Sue, and to ISN. Peace and love.